Welcome to Now I See. I'm Anna Choi. Today's guest is Rohan. Thank you for joining us today, Rohan.
Thank you for having me.
So how did you feel when you got baptised?
Pretty much, I had the same feeling when I first came to the church. I was really excited. I was happy. It was a part of my life which was like a new beginning, because the life before the church was wasn't really good. I pretty much lived, I used to drink alcohol, and like all the time, and I wasn't happy then. You know, I was, which the alcohol helped hide my emotions. When I got baptized, it was like a new start for my life. My life was gone from really, really bad to the point where I was suicidal. I hated my life, to a part of my life where I'm actually enjoying my life these days. I love my life. I spend as much time as I can at the church, and I try to attend the morning masses, either at St. Mark's or at Guildford or any other church nearby. Being baptized into the church is a great feeling. As my friends had told me when I got baptized, I was glowing. And some of them actually say to me, because that they were born into the church, they envy because
they don't remember the feeling
exactly,
of
they don't remember the feeling
baptized.
they're babies.
Yeah.
You know, so, and it's hard to. They actually ask me, what's it like? What's it like to be baptized? And I was like, well, let's just say I felt like $1 million when I got baptized. I didn't look it, but I felt it. But as I told you in the last episode, I cut my head shaving. When I was in the water, after I came out of the water, there was no pain from where I cut my head. It was like the pain was gone, and I was enjoying. And after that, I enjoyed my life. And I actually, like me and a few of my friends, we went out for lunch afterwards, and we went to Sizzles at Carramar, and I was actually straight after baptism, I was told that a friend of mine, John Mitri, which was he was, for all intents and purposes, he's more like my godfather, and he's always there if I need to ask a question. And he told me about it, and he helps me through any hard times I need. And so it's my life has changed a lot. You know, people ask me, would I ever go back to my life before the church? I said no, because I don't want to go back to being suicidal. You know, I hated my life. I was drinking all the time. You know, I had a few bad relationships in the past, and I don't want to go back to my life the way it was back then.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't. I think the best relationship I have now is the one I have with God, because He's actually helped me. He has actually helped show me the person I want to be, not the person I was.
Yeah.
You know, He's opened my eyes. He's brought happiness to my life. God has actually helped me to be more myself, and I'm a lot happier now. I think the only thing missed doing, which was one of my things in my whole life, was I tried doing this once at Guildford Church, and I was told never to do this again, because on Valentine's Day I like to give my friends, all my female friends, one rose, as like to say, in case, because I like to see people happy, you know. And I tried to do that at Guildford, and Father Cyril told me never to do that again. I was like, okay, I'm sorry. I was just trying to give joy to people, you know. But I was told it was actually not a good idea, because some people can take it the wrong way, yeah. So instead of giving him a rose in person, I actually try to do it another way on Facebook instead of like having a picture of a rose and tagging people in there and say a friendly a rose to all my female friends, as I did this year. And I try to do that every year because I like to.
Stay people happy.
I like to keep people happy, and I like to bring joy to people's lives, if I can, and I like to bring people joy in other ways as well. But I'm not going to go into those areas. But honestly, God has changed my life.
You mentioned that you were drinking a lot before, and what is it? How did you transform into just not drinking at all? Like, how did you stop that completely? Did you stop it completely, or did you have to slowly ease into it? Like, what was the struggle really hard?
I think the struggle part was the struggle. There was no struggle once I came to the church, and I got baptized, and everything. Like, even before I got baptized, I actually took a vow. Made a vow to myself that I'd never touch another drop of alcohol for the rest of my life, because I didn't like the way it was doing to me. I was drinking a lot since I was sick as younger. It wasn't very good for the medications. It wasn't the medications weren't really working well because I was mixed up with the alcohol and my body was just all screwed up. So when I came to the church, I just quit cold turkey on alcohol. But I had to. I went from drinking a lot of alcohol to drinking a lot of coffee. So it's not coffee's not as bad, but it's probably better than alcohol. And at least I don't wake up with a headache next day. Drinking caffeine.
Yeah. It sounds like you're very active at church now. You go to church regularly, you serve as well. And initially, you first started coming to church because of a girl. What made you stay? What made you keep coming back after you've broken up with her?
She was, at first, she was the main reason why I came to the church. But after we broke up, I was hurt that we broke up, and I was. Some people have thought that I actually came back to the church to win her back, and some people actually thought I actually got baptized to also win her back, but it was not true. I came back to the church because there was something in the church, and it was a part of my. There was something in church that I was missing in my life. A reason, a part of my. There was a part of my life that was missing, and church actually fills it, And I don't like. Me and her don't talk. We haven't spoken since we've broken up. It's been about 6 years since we've spoken, and I don't hate her. I thank her every day for what the gift that she gave me is the best gift of all. She introduced me to Father Jacob, and I thank her every day for it. And she's always in a prayer, because I thank her for it, because if it wasn't for her, I would have probably been in two places, either in jail or dead. So I actually thank her for it. She's and I thank God for bringing her into my life, even though it wasn't meant to be forever. It was actually even for that short time we were together, she changed my life, and I thank her for it, and I thank God for it, because He worked through her, and then she spoke to me and opened my eyes to a better way of living my life. And since meeting her, I've come to the church, I got baptized, and I serve as of last year. I got ordained as a deacon at St. Mark's Church, which is very touching, because Father Jacob actually was there, and he actually started crying. And I was actually told that it's very rare for Father Jacob to start crying you know, and I found that very nice, you know. So my life has changed a lot since God has come into it. You know, I'm no longer the same person I once was, addicted to alcohol and doing. Don't get me wrong. I never touch drugs. I don't smoke because I'm an asthmatic. But I've replaced alcohol with caffeine, yes, but also the major part is also God. You know, He's given me more to my life. He means more to me in my life than anything else. You know, He helps me go through life each and every day. You know, I read the Bible every night, half an hour every night. I read, I go through my Akbar every night. You know, every morning. And if I can't make it to church, I do the Akbar and I read the Bible as well at morning and night. And every afternoon, I try to go to St. Mark's Church, and I just go there and talk out loud, just for half an hour to an hour. And
just pray.
Just talk. Just talk like I do it now. Just talking. You know, I don't, because no one's there, and one person came in a while back and said, "Who are you talking to?" Like, God. But yeah, it's my life is. I would never want to go back to my life the way it was. You know.
I really admire how much you pray to God, because praying for a lot of people is such a big struggle. How do you find the motivation to just talk to Him, or what do you talk about? You know,
anything that pops into my lovely shiny head. I just talk about everyday things.
Do you have any advice for me? You know, like how do we start praying to God? How do we start?
I don't know.
Not having a relationship with God. How do we start praying to God and forming that relationship with God?
Well, if you, I don't know about you, but you probably, if you read the Bible, that's sort of getting close to God. But I always make like me, I make time to go to the church, and you don't have to go to the church just for the mass. You don't have to go there to see the friends at church. Like I do, I go there every day, or try to go there every day. I don't always go there every day, and I just sit there in the church and just talk out loud. You know, and I feel I feel God there with me when I talk. You know, when I'm there, I go there. Sometimes I feel uptight, I feel stressed, I feel angry, I feel like I'm going to explode. But when I walk out of the church, I feel happy again, and I feel more at ease myself. And it's like, and I go there. I actually went to church yesterday, but I went to Guildford, and I didn't exactly talk out loud because I had people at the front doing confession, so I kind of talked quietly to myself, you know, upstairs, and mostly just by myself, you know, and I still got the same feeling. Now, Father Cyril, he wanted to have a confession, but he was doing confession with people, and I didn't want to interrupt him, so I said to him, look, I had to come here today, so I said to him, how about we leave it today, and I'll come and see you this afternoon after this. And he goes, that's fine, thanks. And I said, no.
You know, you mentioned before that you had confession with Father Cyril for an hour and a half.
Yes.
And now it's changed to just
5-10 minutes.
5-10 minutes.
Yes. Well, actually, it went for a while. I actually had confession every Friday. I actually have confession every Friday. Yep. Well, I did for a while, but now, since I haven't got much to talk about.
Yeah, what's changed between, what's the dramatic change from an hour and a half to, say, 10 minutes now?
Back when I was talking about when I was doing the hour and a half, it was mostly because I was talking about everything that happened before the church. Every synod I'd ever done, and I had them all written down at home. So I actually went through them every week. Every Friday I went through them. All was like, forgive me for this, and it's got to the point where I actually noticed that Father Cyril, he was actually sitting there, and he was like, and then after a while, he was like, and it's like, Father, wake up. He's like, sorry, Rohan, just pretty tired. But what I find funny is that he always leaves me for the last person.
So how did you feel each time leaving confession?
Relaxed, happy, somewhat tired actually, because I'm always the last one, and he always does it before he closes the church for the night. So,
do you truly feel like your sins have been forgiven?
Yes. Yes, I do feel like my sins have been forgiven, and I like in the beginning. The very first time I done confession, I didn't know what I was doing. You know, I didn't exactly know how this worked. You know, I've seen I always watched. I watched TV, and you see in some other churches, you know, on TV, you know, they have those confession booths. And I was thinking to myself, where are these things in here? And it's like, oh, we don't have those. We just sit down and talk. And I was like, oh, okay. But when before I started, I'd done confession, I was angry. I just feel uptight myself. Inside, I feel uptight.
Upset, angry.
Yeah, and after I done confession the very first time, I feel like a weight was taken off me. You know, it felt like before I felt like I had like weights on my back. You know, just weigh me down. You know, and then afterwards I felt like I was like free. It's like I could breathe again. You know, without the weights on me. Without the weight of everything on me, you know. And that's another reason why I go, and that's another reason why I also go to church. Even though I can't do confession every Friday with Father Cyril, I do go to the church at St. Mark's Church and talk, because even though God doesn't talk to me in physical words like Father Cyril does, I feel He does talk to me, because I feel Him with me, because if I didn't feel Him with me, I wouldn't, and I didn't feel happy with what I said to Him at the church. If I didn't feel it, then how come when I walk out of the church I feel excited or happy again? You know, and I get the same feeling as when I talk to Father Cyril. I get the same feeling, like the weight. There's no weights on me holding me down.
Yeah, because sometimes when we pray, it's quite difficult because we don't see Him. We can't see God. So you obviously feel like you're speaking to someone as well. How do you feel that God? How does He answer you?
He answers me by, well, I think He answers. He doesn't answer me with the actual words, of course. He's not like you and I. He's not flesh with us, or you know. But he answers me by knowing that I know He's there. I know He's right next to us now. He's with us all the time. You know, if we have any problems, we can always go to Him. We can always talk to Him, and He may not answer us with words, but He'll answer us in other ways, either through our soul, you know, or He'll give us signs. Now, the girl that brought me to the church, she was big on signs, and I was thinking to myself, this girl's... At first I thought, that when she first started talking about signs, I was thinking to myself, this girl's weird. But then I actually understood, and then I found out what she meant by signs, you know, and it wasn't like... I was thinking to myself, signs, like, what, like on a dashboard or something like that? It's like, no, like it's more like spiritual signs, you know, like you'll see something, or say for example, last night there was a talk at Guildford Church. I was always wondering, like, my life before the church when I was drinking, you know, and where it can lead you, and like it related to my life in a lot of different ways, you know. And I find in one of my questions in my head was, how does God see it, you know? And that actually answered the questions, you know. So he does speak to us, you know.
Definitely.
And every time I've ever gone to a different church and had a question in my head, he's always answered it by a speech or something, you know. He's always been there. And my life is, I feel he's with me all the time now. I can't wear the cross around my neck with necklaces and stuff like that because I end up getting really itchy, you know. But I do have the cross is with me at all times. It's in my heart. It's with me at all times, you know. And I believe God's with me, and I believe that He's by my side all the time.
That's great. Unfortunately, we've run out of time, but
Thank you.
If you tune in next episode, we'll hear the rest of Rohan's amazing journey. Thank you. This is Anna Choi.